Hey, Dr. G here. Should you take DHEA, one of the most abundant hormones in the human body? Well, back in 2007, there was a bill before Congress to have DHEA status changed to that of an anabolic steroid, which would have made it illegal without a doctor's prescription. Now, thankfully, this law was not passed, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't resurface again soon. There's rumblings about it all the time. So who or what is behind the push to make DHEA illegal? Well, how about the powerful drug company lobbyists and the government? Both of these entities have a vested interest to keep any alternative health remedy out of our hands. And why is that? Well, they don't want to disrupt the fortunes that are being made off drugs and medical procedures. And these drugs and medical procedures are especially needed for people with low DHEA levels. Now, there's a caveat here. Don't think that taking DHEA should replace a healthy lifestyle. That's stupid thinking. Now, I use a low DHEA level to indicate that a patient has or is headed toward future health problems. These people are a candidate for a complete lifestyle makeover. Low DHEA correlates with high interleukin-6 level, which is an inflammatory cytokine. Remember, inflammation is the precursor for most of our modern diseases. And these are the same diseases that our medical system has a very poor track record of treating. Now, there are precursors of DHEA that I'd also recommend that you test if you're considering supplementing with DHEA. This would include pregnenolone and progesterone. These are other anabolic hormones that balance cortisol. Cortisol is our catabolic stress hormone. Now, as we age, DHEA, pregnenolone, progesterone tend to decline dramatically, but our cortisol levels, on the other hand, basically don't. And what does that mean? It means we stop regenerating, and that's why we ultimately die. DHEA levels usually drop precipitously after about the age of 50. So you're more likely to have low levels and thus benefit from supplementing if you're older. Levels actually decline by 75 to 80% by the time we reach age 70. DHEA has been correlated with brain function as we age, both for memory and decision-making functioning. Experiments in animals and in humans show that supplementation can improve these brain functions. Low levels have been associated with depression, and again, supplementation has been shown to improve the symptoms of depression. In fact, a National Institutes of Mental Health study on DHEA found that, well, actually, listen to what the researchers said. We find DHEA to be an effective treatment for midlife onset, major, and minor depression. Has your psychiatrist told you about this? Probably not. They wrote their script for their antidepressant. Now, DHEA also helps our bones and joints. Randomized trials have shown improvements in bone density. Other studies have shown that it might prevent arthritis. Now, this hormone also supports our immune system. Animal studies with animals that were given parasites show that DHEA helped treat them or to remove the parasitic infections. DHEA also has antiviral properties, so may be helpful in fighting viral infections. It also keeps our immune system from overreacting, and this can reduce allergies and inflammatory cytokines. And remember, inflammation and autoimmune disease are modern diseases that are going up. Now, low DHEA levels have been shown to raise the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Now, one mechanism for this, shown in studies, is that people with high DHEA levels tend to have lower amounts of abdominal fat. Now, I know none of you out there are worried about abdominal fat, but I just wanted to mention this to be complete. We don't want to leave any stones unturned. Studies have also shown that low levels of DHEA are significant predictors of death itself. So you hear that? if you don't let your DHEA level go down, you may just live forever. But then again, maybe you won't. Now, other studies show that DHEA helps sex drive in both men and women, and it also causes youthful changes in the skin. So topical DHEA on your face might replace those expensive, toxin-laden creams that you're now wasting your money on. So let's see. Why would the drug companies and our profit-based healthcare system not want you to take an apparently safe, inexpensive, over-the-counter remedy that could replace diabetes drugs, antidepressants, cholesterol drugs, osteoporosis drugs, anti-inflammatory drugs, skin rejuvenation creams, weight loss drugs, hormone drugs for menopause and andropause? And taking something like this has the potential to help you live a healthier life and possibly even a longer life? Well, let's think about the dollars involved. Probably more than the gross national product of most countries. There, we can all understand this. Now, I want to emphasize that I'm not a proponent of taking handfuls of pills, whether they be drugs or supplements. But if you're at risk for any of the conditions I just mentioned, particularly if you've been placed on a drug for any of these, especially if a drug with very toxic side effects, here's what you can do as an alternative. Now, I don't believe that anyone should take DHEA without first measuring your blood level. So you really should only supplement with medical supervision, in my opinion. The test is simple. It's performed by most labs. Now, there's a DHEA level in the serum. You can also measure a salivary level. There's DHEAS, which is more of a storage form. And any of those can be tested. Just be sure your doctor knows what the heck they're doing. Now remember, also get your pregnenolone and progesterone levels done at the same time. If your pregnenolone is low, which is a precursor for DHEA, you might supplement that first. Now, women shouldn't take the supplement if they have an estrogen-dependent cancer, and men probably should not take it if they have prostate cancer. Now, the average dose might be 12.5 to 25 milligrams a day for women, and let's say 25 to 50 milligrams a day for men. With supplementation, I usually shoot for getting the blood levels into the top quartile of the normal range. I don't recommend getting your levels above the normal range. And for that reason, it's really important to retest your levels after you begin supplementation. Now, I know the healthcare system wants us on drugs, and they want us to have plenty of medical procedures, but usually there are alternatives. Now, as far as I know, there's no clinical studies that show that there's significant adverse effects with supplementation with DHEA. And we all know that drugs kill and maim thousands upon thousands of people every year. So would you do me a favor? Comment on your experience or questions about DHEA. This is Dr. G. Thanks so much for watching.